Good morning, sir. Thank you, sir. Shall we proceed, sir?
Okay, we can proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Madam?
Yes, sir. Chairman has joined us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir joined, sir.
Okay.
Success is not the key to happiness. Instead, happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. The secret of getting ahead is to get started. A very good morning to one and all gathered here. I, Shyamala Devi, Assistant Professor from the MC desk, take this privilege to extend a warm welcome to all our delegates. On behalf of SRM Institute of Science and Technology, we welcome you all to the second international conference on Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence 2021, organized by Department of Computer Science and Applications in association with Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Everything is theoretically impossible until it is done practically. This conference aims to bring together leading academic scientists, researchers, and research scholars to exchange and share their experience and research results on all aspects of machine learning and computational intelligence. The most powerful moment of feeling with the worship is the prayer, which seeks for nothing special, but is a yearning to escape from the limitations of our own weakness, and an invocation of all good to enter and abide with us. Tamil Thai Varthu, an invocation to Mother Tamil, is a stage song of Tamil Nadu, written by Manonmaniam Sundaram Pillai and composed by M.S. Vishwanathan. The meaning of the song goes as, "O Tamil goddess, you are beautifully clad with the wavy rivers and seas. Your chiseled face shines amidst the famous Bharat continent. You are the elite Dravidian country in the Deccan. Your small forehead shines like the crescent with a distinct tilak. Like the fragrance of the tilak, let the whole world rejoice. Your great name and fame is known in all directions. O Tamil goddess, your majestic, youthful industriousness makes us spellbound and wish all the best. Now, let us pray to the Tamil goddess for her blessings."
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Light the lamp of positivity and walk the miles with courage. Let us follow the tradition of lighting the Kuttuvilakku. Now I request the digital team to proceed with the lightning. Thank you all. To welcome is to show honor. To welcome is to establish integrity. Now is the time to welcome the guests. To add more, this person has motivated us all by being a live example of kindness and selfless service to our institution. He has given his best by sharing his expertise and knowledge in every possible way to help us reaching greater heights in our career. A great soul working towards connecting young minds to strive towards success and achievement. Let me call upon our respected principal, Faculty of Science and Humanities, Dr. C. Sundar, to deliver the welcome address for the event. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Selamat pagi, selamat petang to our Malaysian delegates. Happy morning to our Indian delegates. On behalf of College of Science and Humanities, SRMIST Ramapuram campus, and our esteemed partner institution, Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, we welcome you all for this second international conference in research essential in machine learning and computational intelligence. As you all know that SRMIST Ramapuram campus is one of the pioneer institutions providing the holistic education. So our major focus will be in academic enhancement, creating a good entrepreneurial ecosystem, innovative research, and good placements. But our honorable chairman, sir, insists us, so not this 4 is enough. You have to do the outreach as well as the extension activity. For the kind information for all the participants and delegates, SRMIST Ramapuram campus taken lot of extension and outreach activity for empowering and developing the socially underprivileged communities. During the pandemic period, College of Science and Humanities faculty member as well as the students, we have taken lot of effort and we contributed to the empowerment of rural student. So as you all aware that especially the rural community suffered a lot during this pandemic. We taken as per the guidance of our honorable chairman, sir. So we taken as this as our motto. So our student faculty identified the rural school students and we are given all possible support to us to minimize the digital divide gap. So this way we are doing good for the socially underprivileged communities. So SRMIST Ramapuram College of Science and Humanities, so doing the far best in all the initiatives so we have taken. So recent past, we organized a series of activities and workshops in the topic transformative reforms in the new education policy, involving all the stakeholders, student, faculty, employer, and the parents. Because India is undergoing the new educational system. So SRM University is in a proactive university. Our chairman is in a visionary. So now itself we start analyzing and doing so what best we can do to cope up with the new educational policies. So in this regard, we are very happy to see lot of delegates from the Malaysian and across all the country. So on behalf of SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, I now wholeheartedly extend a red carpet welcome to our Honorable Chairman, Sir, Dr. R. Shivakumar, who is a dynamic visionary, mission-driven personality with the dreams of unsurmountable stature and a renowned able administrator at large. The breadth and the depth of his experience as an able administrator so makes him stand tall among many. Apart from this, he is a philanthropist who renders self-service to the society. He has molded the life of many into definite shape for the benefit of the nation. Sir, we are greatly honored to have you with us this morning for this inauguration. Sir, we welcome you, sir. I take immense pleasure in extending my warm welcome to Dr. MP Puniaji, Vice Chairman, AICT, so who was and is a person instrumental in bringing various reforms and initiatives which caters to the need of the nation towards academic excellence. Except with a great visionary like him, the academics cannot find novel shape and turns to attain the highest glory ever possible. On behalf of SRMIST Ramapuram campus and the partner institution IUKL and the organizer, welcome you open heart for the gracing this ceremony, sir. Thank you, sir, for your accepting our invitation and your part with this program. So it adds enormous joy and happiness in welcoming Professor Dato Dr. Noor Inaya Binti Ya Akub, President and Vice Chancellor, Infrastructure University Kuala Lumpur. For gracing this occasion, Dr. Binti is a person who shoulders immense burden and responsibility in shaping and driving the academic enterprises to promote intensity of thinking achieved through sustained research culture. His leadership quality is about inspiring and empowering people, dreaming and visioning, combined with the determination to achieve the dream or vision. Sir, we welcome you for this international conference, sir. It's my delight and prestige in welcoming Mr. C. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICT, who is known for his ability in bringing things together with precision to make it happen at the right time with the right gravity. So as a coordination plays a major role in bringing the contacts between academician, professionals, researcher and scholar. As a Chief Coordinating Officer of AICT, he is gifted with special opportunity of connecting people with events and the beneficiaries. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is a progress, and working together is a success. These lines stand apt in experiencing the warmth one feels working with Dr. N. Sethuraman Sir, Chief Director, SRMIST Group of Institution, Ramapuram and Trichy campus. He is a very dynamic energy behind every accomplishment, be it minor or major. So good thinker, a divine decision maker, a strong pillar of support, an ardent hard worker. Sir, it's my happiest moment to welcome you, sir, at this juncture. Thank you, sir. The historic place of cooperation and coordination is a result of tireless consultation, high-level commitment, and a great deal of patience, sacrifice, and perseverance. So all these attributes are due to the organizer and the coordinators of this e-conference. I extend my warm welcome to all the minds behind the matter. So on this occasion, I feel honor and privilege in welcoming all the Malaysian delegates, so who are given a very good support for making this conference in a grand success manner. So I welcome all the participants and the interested research scholar who have made it point to be the part of this great knowledge festival. I'm sure that the conference would definitely create a strong mark in the mind of our researchers. So once again, I welcome you all and thank you and terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the proactive thoughts on NEP and being oriented towards NEP. Thank you for welcoming all the delegates and dignitaries. We should strive to welcome change and challenges because they are what help us grow. We need to constantly be challenging ourselves in order to strengthen our knowledge and increase our intelligence. Thanks for the warm welcome, sir. Now, inspire yourself with words that make you take the right actions. Tell yourself that you are here to do good and greater things. There is enough of negativity out there, and the world needs people like you to make it. Our dynamic VP admin, the convener of the conference, who has tirelessly worked for the past 4 months for making this event happen, will now present the details of the conference. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam. I take great pride in welcoming all the attendees of the second international conference. Education is all about creating an environment of academic freedom where bright minds meet, discover, and learn. One would experience the top of the world living and learning experience at SRM. After the successful completion of the first edition of International Conference in Research Essential in Machine Learning and computational intelligence in the year 2020. We are organizing the second edition of the conference today. This conference will act as a major forum for the presentation of innovative ideas, approaches, developments, and research projects in the area of machine learning and computational intelligence. It will also serve to facilitate the exchange of information between researchers and industry professionals to discuss the latest issues and advancement in the area of advanced computation and its applications will be covered during this conference. This conference has been expanded to include the interstitial topics from across 4 pillars. First, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. Second, distributed system and cloud computing. Third, blockchain. Fourth, industry 4.0 and smart manufacturing. We have received more than 75 research articles and around 300 authors have given their contribution. Even after the last date for submission, we have received inquiries for submission of articles. Most of these articles have been submitted by eminent research scholars pertaining to the research, and reviewers have highly commended the content of these articles. The quality articles received reflects its high information content. We found out that the papers received are best suited for publishing in industry journals. This conference also has very known keynote speakers from industry and academia. In the meantime, we would like to express many sincere and special acknowledgement to our management for their advice, vision, passion, and constant effort to make this conference a success. In continuation of this conference, we wish to humbly state that we have already started a discussion on carrying out a joint venture funded research projects with IUKL, and we will definitely reach more milestones in our academic career. Thank you.
Thank you for the elaboration, sir. People won't see your struggle. They will only see your success. All the successful papers have been edited and compiled into conference proceedings. We have received more than 75 papers and selected papers find a place in the proceedings. May I request the release of the proceeding of the second international e-conference on research essentials on machine learning and computational intelligence 2021. Thank you for the effort taken for the proceedings. The sweetest of all sounds is praise. Praise others for their virtues and encourage their efforts. It gives me immense pleasure to share with you our Chief Director of SRMIST, Dr. N. Sethuraman. I request him to deliver the felicitation address.
Very good morning to everyone. Beloved Chairman, respected Vice Chairman, Dr. MP Punia, Chief Coordinating Officer AICT, Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Dean of Science and Humanities of SRMIST, Vice Principal Dr. Dileepan, Distinguished Professor Dr. Noor Inayat bin Yaqub, President and Vice Chancellor, IUKL, and members of the faculty, participants, and other dignitaries. I am happy to associate myself in today's program organized by Faculty of Science and Humanity of SRMIST in association with the Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur. This international conference, e-conference on research essential in machine learning and computational intelligence will throw light on many issues on computational intelligence and machine learning. No doubt, the participants, the students and faculty will get lot of information and ideas for further research and also to submit projects to funding agencies for developing such kind of ideas. Research essentials will be dealt and discussed by the researchers. I would like to know from them how the computational intelligence and machine learning are related to common person like me or to our society. There are many definitions. We cannot pinpoint this is the only definition. The expression computational intelligence, quoting Wikipedia, refers to the ability of a computer to learn a specific task from the data or from the experiential observation. Even though it is considered as a synonym of soft computing, there is no commonly accepted definition for this computational intelligence. Even if you refer to Wikipedia for machine learning, it is a study of computer algorithms. That is why we are able to make use of this technology. Say, for example, I used to wonder, now, to know the sugar level of a patient, we have got a small instrument. It can be fitted into our arm or in our body. whenever it goes up or whenever it comes down, it gives a direction. The machine learning system works out. Doctor advises to go for immediate insulin or to go for some tablets. What I mean to say, this computational intelligence or machine learning, it has helped in many ways, even while driving car, for climate change. Now it is being used. Traditionally, people used to say the three main pillars of computational intelligence: network, fuzzy systems, and evolutionary computation. Now it has grown. Machine learning is also a part of artificial intelligence. Whatever we have created, whatever we have data put into that, based on the observations, it gives directions. So, the topic chosen by the department is very apt. Today, the whole world is making use of this technology. Of course, it is used for wrong purpose. Recently, you might have heard in the or read in the news, or you might have seen in the channel how ATM being tampered and money taken away from the ATM. It has got a system to give alarm, but at the same time, the culprit is more intelligent than computational intelligence or machine learning or internet. He has adopted a device making use of the same technology, not giving any kind of warning when he has taken the money twice or thrice. Now, researchers, participants, you should discuss on issues which are relating to the development of the society, which are absolutely essential, particularly to the industry, to the farmers, and needed for medical profession. When this Corona, COVID-19 was announced in 2020, everyone became panicked. We did not have medicine or insulin or injection, whatever it is. It was not available at that time. We struggled. Finally, with the help of technology, we are now able to have a system or medicine by which we will be able to overcome. But still, there is no guarantee. Only it will minimize. It will prevent death. But still, we have to go a long way. Why I am saying, making use of this now, today, without a technology, any profession cannot thrive. Particularly, machine learning or artificial intelligence or computational intelligence. I wish and hope this international conference will definitely give a kind of solution or will give a lot of ideas to our research and to our students. Thereby, they will make further progress. Dr. Dilipan in his address and Professor Sundar, Dean in his address, talked about the achievement of SRMIST, particularly Ramavaram faculty and students. They participated in many hackathons. They participated in many events wherein they proved their ability and brought laurels to their institution. I wish and hope they'll go further. Management is willing to support for their endeavor. I appreciate the efforts taken by the faculty and the support given by Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur. Mr. Bunia will be able to recollect his experience or his convocation address delivered in this campus, Ramavaram campus for Easwari Engineering College, some 3 years before. So we are all thankful to the Vice Chairman, Mr. Punia, and also recently I met Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICT, when I visited AICT a month back. Sir, SRM IST of Ramavaram campus, our chairman and co-chairman, and all our colleagues, even now, recollect the convocation address delivered by you. We want the same support from the Vice Chairman AICT and Chief Coordinating Officer Buddha Chandrasekhar for all our endeavor. I thank you one and all. I thank the Science and Humanities of SRMIST having given me this opportunity to share my ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for emphasizing on the computational intelligence and its relevance to common man and a society and the day-to-day activities. Thank you once again. Reach high, for stars lie hidden in your soul. Dream deep, for every dream leads the goal. He is an amazing person, a loving chairman, a caring leader, and an adorable personality. People like him are hard to find. He is the face of our institution. Every one of us should try and inculcate some of the values he wants. Such selfless services is hard to witness. He is well known for his work in the field of education. I would now like to invite our Honorable Chairman, Dr. R. Shivakumar, SRM Group of Institutions, Ramapuram and Trichy Campus, to deliver the presidential address. Please, sir.
Dr. Punia, Vice Chairman AICT, Mr. Sri Buddha Chandrasekhar, Chief Coordinating Officer, AICT, respected Professor Dato Dr. Noor Inaya Binti, respected Associate Professor Dr. Kong B, respected Professor Zakaria from IUKL, and keynote speakers Sim V. Y, Professor from International University Perak, Malaysia, Mr. Zolkapi bin May, General Manager from SRT on Security Services, Dr. Karthikeyan Mayapuri from TCS, Dr. G. Aguila, Registrar NIT Puducherry, respected Chief Director, Director, Deans, Head of Institution, Vice Principals, Convener, Coordinators, my dear faculty members, research scholars. Good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this inaugural session of second International E-Conference on Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence in association with Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur. I also wish to convey a special thank to my Chief Director, who has explained artificial intelligence, machine learning in a very simple language and made persons like me. I'm not a technical person, I'm a medical doctor, and has given me an insight about these technologies. Thank you, sir. And a small brief about SRM to the guests. SRMIST of Science and Technology, commonly known as SRM University. It's a deemed to be university, part of SRM Group, which is 52 years old. And the institution is NACA accredited with A++. It has excellent infrastructure facilities, modern lab, library with e-learning, and all the other facilities which is required to be on the top. We have introduced specialized course in computer science, engineering and technology, like CSE with specialization in artificial intelligence and machine learning, specialization in big data analytics, with a specialization in Internet of Things, with specialization in cybersecurity, and specialization in computer science and business systems. SRM deemed university offers PhD, full-time, part-time also. And the department, Science and Humanities, vertical in SRM University was established in 2014 with UG and PG courses. It has a total strength of 4,500 now. The Department of Computer Application, which is organizing today's conference, was started in 2007. The department strives to provide high quality education to student community and aid in developing their skills, attitude, and guide them towards successful career path. A small correction, the College of Science and Humanities was started in the year of 2004, I think. It's not 14, a small correction. With its highly qualified and dedicated, experienced faculty members under the leadership of Sundar and Dilipan, the department provides a suitable environment to develop pioneering talents and practice ethical values. The department is also continually upgrading the technical proficiency for providing experienced professionals to gratify the needs of the society and to meet the global challenges. This success is attributed to the dedicated team of faculty members. The Department of Computer Science and Applications, right from its inception, has been active in research and innovation and has set up an ambient academic environment for its students and research scholars. With a commitment of highly qualified and efficient staff, the department endeavors vigorously to make a mark in the field of research and development. After successful completion of first edition of Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence in the year 2020, the department is organizing its second edition of the conference now. Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence aims to bring together leading academic scientists, researchers, research scholars to exchange and share their experiences and research results on all aspects of machine learning and computational intelligence. I'm sure that this occasion will provide an affable environment for the researchers and academicians to freely exchange their views and ideas. I convey my warm greetings and felicitations to the organizing committee and participants and extend my best wishes for the success of the conference. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Punia, Dr. Buddha Chandrasekhar, administrators and faculty members of Infrastructure University of Kuala Lumpur for giving us an opportunity to organize this program successfully. Thank you, one and all.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. So under your leadership and guidance, we will excel in all the aspect of the field, sir. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Madam, unmute பண்ணுங்க, please. Shamla, madam, unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presidential address. With your guidance, we will reach all our milestones. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is success. We take the pleasure of welcoming the person who played a vital role to make the conference a successful one. Before that, I request Mr. N. Krishnamurthy, Assistant Professor of MCA, Department of Computer Applications, to introduce the chief guest.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I feel proud and privilege bestowed on my shoulders to introduce the Chief Coordinating Officer from AICT, Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar sir. Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar sir obtained his BE in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from India. Along with that, he got Executive MBA from Robert Smith Business School, Maryland, USA. He has got 1 year entrepreneurship from Silicon Valley, California, USA. He has authored group exams, good governance, Indian development video material. Adding to that, he has developed a lot of projects like NEET, Internship Enterprise Portal, AI Language Translation Project, Indian Knowledge System, and has distributed more than 450 crore free digital content to higher education students and leading various student upskilling initiatives. Coming back to his projects, what he has taken so far, he has taken a lot of projects from AICTE, MHRD, has contributed multiple consulting projects in the area of higher education, technology, vocational education, research for USA government. He worked with USA and worldwide education policies. He has contributed to the implications of digital technology for education policy research, and he has done a lot of projects in AI and machine learning. Coming back to his certification, he has got a lot of certification. To name a few, he's a certified negotiation strategist, certified FDI and FEMA expert. He's a certified GSD expert. He's a certified cybersecurity and cyber law expert. He is a certified smart city expert. He's an entrepreneur, project manager, and election management expert. And he has got a lot of experience in smart city, and he has handled more than 70 projects in smart city. To name a few: sanitary, recyclable waste management pipeline, rainwater, freshwater harvesting, location-based services, smart government data pipeline. With this introduction, I take privilege in introducing the chief guest, Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar sir, for the guest presence, and may now request Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar sir to offer his felicitation. Please, sir, the forum is yours.
Good morning, all. Good morning to all our SRM team members, and my heartily welcome to Kuala Lumpur Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, IUKL team members. I hope you all are doing good and enjoying a great health. As you see now, technology is completely driving the businesses as well as human lives. Once upon a time, we used to open our eyes and pray God, but now we are opening our eyes and watching our mobile to see what is the latest activities happening. What it really means is that technology is the one which is driving the human nowadays. I mean, we already became half, dependent on technology. Maybe very soon it may happen more percentage of penetration because of the deep learning. Because in the machine learning as well as in the deep learning technologies, basically it is trying to mimic or automate most of the processes which human can do. So I think example, if you take the Google search itself, if you want any information in the world, we are trying to do a Google search. What it really means is the robot is basically driving the decisions what humans are taking. So imagine billions of searches on a daily basis and millions of decisions are made by the references or preferences given by a robot, not by a fellow human. So what it really means is, the technology, mainly the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and computational power, this is driving as a major, driver for the human beings. At the same time, if you see the latest 30 technologies for the next decade, like dominated by artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, Internet of Technologies, Industry 4.0 is completely depend on the technology layer where they are going to produce more. See, previously the thought process was if the technology is involved more, then the production may decrease. But now what is happening, the technology is helping more and it is trying to fine tune and making the product efficient. And the supply chain management as well as the logistics of any sector, if you take, that sector is basically fully depending on technology. Example, nowadays we are doing a rerouting ourselves, with help of Google sector, with help of any other technologies, where we see where is the traffic more and, where is there any alternative route. I think all these are getting enabled with help of these advanced technologies, which is making human lives very simple. And nowadays, another beautiful technology come up is the proximity technology. I mean, beacons, RFID, Wi-Fi, near field communication, geofencing. I mean, the minute we have the better edge computing, then I'm sure even the human life and the way we interacting, the way we are doing business, it will completely do a paradigm shift after 5G, because it is going to not only enable us on the textual based transformation, image based transformation, as well as the video based transformation. Now we can do lots of businesses using AR based, VR based, 3D interactive based, MR based. I mean, even much more advanced. I think recently we did one very interesting project in Ministry of Education. We have a physical aeroplane mission in Germany. We have taken a digital twin of that mission and we have given it to some of the students in India. And they started fine-tuning those processes and that mission, and they have submitted that information back to Germany company, and they have remodified, accepted one of the idea, one of the solution, which is much more efficient than the existing solution. I think the technology is completely changing the paradigm, and the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning is really using, playing a very major role. And at the same time, if you see recently, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji said, we want to do education in local languages. So we have utilized the deep learning technologies and we have created an artificial intelligence tool which translate the books from English to 12 Indian languages, like from Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, Assami, Bengali, including Odia, Urdu, all languages, all popular languages in India. What it really means is, we as a government of India, we are as a government of, Ministry of Education, we want to give equal opportunities to everyone. In the new education policy, equality and the creating a quality content is a major, building blocks. So we started implementing all this, by providing an opportunity to our students to learn engineering or diploma in their mother tongue, At the same time, we have opened up all the online-based systems. So now we have created something called NEET, where the students can come and do a skilling or upskilling of the activities. And it is a purely artificial intelligence-based system. It has lots of data capturing methodologies where we are capturing, we are not creating the profile of the student. We are basically creating the future of the student and what are their interest areas. Maybe a student from a computer science, but he may be interested on roads and buildings. And what kind of activities he is involved, and what kind of social service he is doing, what kind of certificates he is doing, what kind of a social contribution he is doing on internet. I mean, what kind of research he is doing. I think we are trying to create a beautiful profile and giving them opportunity to solve the problems, because there's lots of problems exist in the world. And we have identified most of the problems, and we had a detailed discussion with the industries and try to understand their problems and started giving these problems to our faculty as well as to students to solve it. What it really means is, see, now the Ministry of Education, we opened up the door saying that, no, these are the problems. I think these are the challenges which we need to resolve with help of the advanced technologies. At the same time, students also started utilizing, and I really appreciate SRM's initiative, because this is the need of the hour. I think I see that the entire globe became one. Now in India, we call it as Vishwa Guru. I mean, what it really means is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It means, the entire world is one. We want everyone to grow together. That's the beauty of Indianism. That is what we call it as a Bharatita in Indian terms. But what Indianism means is, every citizen in this world is equal. And we are happy to share the thought process and experiences what we are gaining with other countries. And we want every student under the globe, to move forward. And now if you see, India is receiving lots of billions of investments. If you see in last 7 years, we have received more than $375 billion investments. So we started upskilling, skilling, and and we have taken things forward. Maybe our Honorable Vice Chairman Sir Puniaji will discuss more about it. But the thought process here is we have put the technology forward and we have put the rest of the things backward. And mainly we are concentrating fully on artificial intelligence, deep learning, and data intelligence. So this is the way we are doing. And if you see the recent approval process also, we have automated completely end to end. Without doing any manual intervention, 80 to 90% of the entire approval process was automated. So you can see how advanced technologies and systems we are using. I wish best of luck to SRM as well as Kuala Lumpur University. And if you need any help, you feel free to contact us. We are very open. We want to learn from you and from your experience, because we strongly believe everyone has a unique experience, which is very valuable. So we are open. You please, when you are visiting India, you please come to our office. Let us share our thoughts and let us make this entire world as a better place, to live. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Definitely, we will do our level best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful thought process. We will grab the opportunities with your guidance and grow up. Now is the time for the guest. For men may come and men may go. I go on forever. This is the time much awaited. All of us have been eagerly waiting for this minute to listen to the chief guest for today. Before that, I request Mrs. Kanchana, Assistant Professor, MCA Department, to introduce the chief guest for the day.
Shamla, please, in that introduction part, you please avoid next program I'll be having. Please excuse me. Permit to me start. No?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Please,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Please, sir.
Thank you very
Please,
much.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sure,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Our technology man, Buddha Chandrasekhar ji, I was listening him. It's amazing. Dr. Siva Kumar, who is a wonderful, wonderful, imaginary person and chairing this SRM whole group. Dr. Sethu Raman, Dr. Sundar, then Professor Dato. It's a joint event which is being organized. I'll be congratulating whole team. And the way SRM group is working, it's icon for the country. We all feel proud. The type of contribution which SRM group has extended to this whole country, and enormous expectation we people are having from this group. Just 3 years back, it has been said I visited there. Yet it was wonderful opportunity. And not only 3 years back, when some MTech programs long back in your main campus, when MTech program started, that time probably I was one of the expert in AICT team for giving that permission. So long association I'm having with SRM group, and the type of topic which it has been taken related to these emerging areas, and the type of research which is needed, particularly in our country, because our youth, which is in large in number, and they should become a strong human resource, and particularly in alignment with the needs of the industry. So the type of initiative which we people have taken, I think it is amazing. And we want this large population, young population which we are having in the country, they should become a very strong human resource, not only for our country, they should be able to move anywhere in the globe, and they should be able to deliver, they should be able to prove that we Indians are something different. Our values, our sanskaras, our traditions, the capabilities of working, the vision which we people are carrying, dedication which we are having, and core competencies which is inbuilt in us, those are something different. And whole world should recognize our contribution. In lieu of that one, if this young population, if they can bring dollars for this country, our GDP, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji is dreaming for this $3 trillion economy. Just immediately, it will be coming only if our youth will be having that sort of dedication, that sort of acceptance, then only we people will be able to contribute. The challenge which we are facing, and as a regulator, I am saying, with this large population, the huge number of graduates who are coming out every year, they are around 1 million. Every year, we are putting graduates to this society, that is 1 million. After China is producing around 1.2 million. We are producing 1 million. The acceptance of these graduates are most important. And many a times industries are giving a lot of suggestions when they come out from our academic institutes. They are saying that curriculum of the students, which it has been taught to the students, that was outdated. The examination system which we people have kept, that is not aligns with their requirements. They are saying you are assessing your students on the basis of the mugging or remembering capabilities of the students, and the problems which is being given to the students for their assessment. It is all known problems are being given, but industries are saying when they are entering into our organizations, there are thousands of problems and millions of solutions of those problems are there, but all the solutions are unknown. Students will have to face the challenges which are unknown to anyone. So the type of assessment system, the type of teaching learning processes which we are having, even the hands-on part, the skills, the practical skills which we are giving, in many areas, industries are giving suggestions, and same time they are saying that we people are competing at global level. Industries are saying our technologies, our processes, our products, our cost estimates, anything which we are having of the products, that is of global repute. But the human resource which we are getting from academic institutes, they are not having that sort of exposure. They are saying that students should be trained in all emerging areas, which is demand of the time, which is future of this whole globe, maybe artificial intelligence, data sciences, cyber security, machine learning, deep learning, all sort of areas they are suggesting, and we'll have to prepare this human resource. Some 2-3 suggestions I'll be giving to SRM University team, and I'm having full faith that you people will be able to deliver. First and foremost thing, the mission of the country. As far as researches are concerned, the mission of the country is foremost. Whatever areas our students are selecting, whatever areas in which our teachers are working, the labs which are being developed, the center of excellences which are developed, for that purpose, our mission of the country, it has to be clear to everyone that whatever we are doing, it is for the betterment of the nation. Maybe energy, maybe environment, maybe water conservation, whatever the area it may be, which is a challenge of the country. So country is first, then your state in which we people are. Mission of the state may be different as compared to mission of the country, because state's requirement may be different. So the challenges which we are putting in front of the students for providing the solution, those challenges which are the country's demand as well as the state's demand. So on the basis of that one areas, it has to be identified. The agriculture in Tamil Nadu, agriculture is foremost at forefront. In those areas, the challenges of the students, the researches which is being given, that it has to be the ratio which I would like to define for SRM University. I am saying the ratio of 1:4:8. When I'm saying 1:4:8, 1 PhD scholar, 2 MTech students, 4 BTech students, 8 students who are being trained in their vocational skills. So the ratio which I am defining, Chairman Saab, Sivakumarji, just my expectation is please try to maintain that ratio, because the repute which SRM University is now having, not only in our country, across the globe, this parameter, because these are the standard parameters, maybe MIT, maybe Harvard, maybe University of Toronto, the parameters of the ratios of the students which are to be maintained, it is 1:4:8. One PhD scholar should be associated with 2 MTech students. Those 2 MTech students will be connected with 4 BTech students, and this whole team should be connected with those people who are dropped out, who are in the farthest corners of the country, who are having enormous expectation from our academic institute. So that number should be 8. So this ratio, it has to be maintained. Second one, because this online education, for improving the gross enrollment ratio, for improving the quality, for giving equity in the education, the cost affordability, and finally the accountability, all sort of areas which we are having, technology is very, very important. So in SRM University, I dream that at least 100 champion teachers who are extremely good in teaching, learning, pedagogical skills, which is basically related, which is basically strengthened from technology. So do researches on the technologies which are most important for improving the teaching learning processes. So your 100 champion teachers for enhancing the online education strength, bringing the quality in education, bringing the interest of the students into our contents. So those 100 champion teachers should work day and night, and they should become role model for the country as far as technology and teaching learning processes are concerned. Third one, the dream of national education policy is National Education Alliance for Technology form. One alliance, it has been created as per the vision of the national education policy by Government of India. Same NETF in the name of IETF, Institute Educational Technology form. Again, it should be one example for whole country, that the way the technology is working, the integration of all sort of contents, all sort of help which is available for the students, that it has to be compiled, that it has to be aligned, and it should become a role model. Your IETF should become a role model for whole country. And finally, all the emerging areas which are today, which are expected after 5 years, which are expected after 25 years, the way Honorable Prime Minister has given his speech about Vision 2047. In 2047, what will the shape of the country? What will the technologies in the country? What sort of manpower will be having? What sort of industries will be having? For 2047, the technologies which will be having, prediction of that one, and related to that one, center of excellences. These emerging areas which we are talking today, artificial intelligence, data sciences, those centers, it has to be established today. After 5 years, what will be needing? After 15 years, what will be needing? After 47 years, Honorable Prime Minister is saying that after in 2047, the person who will be becoming Prime Minister, he will be having all sort of initiatives in front of him. But for that purpose, we people will have to help. Only dream of Prime Minister won't fulfill with the requirement of the country. We people will have to support. And particularly role of technical education will be very, very important. And most important, who are leading in the country, just like the universities, the temple of education, like SRM, they'll be the role models in time to come. And we are having person, technology man, just like Buddhaji, we are ready to extend any sort of help which is needed, even for researchers, the funding which is needed, or the concept of Idea Lab which we are having, the teachers training, the extending support to the teachers if they are crossing the borders of the country, if they are going outside India, all sort of help we people are ready to accept. Please do something very special for the betterment of this whole nation. Best wishes. I think this alliance between Malaysia and SRM University will go a long way. Thank you very much for giving opportunity. Best wishes. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I just want to add one small thing, as Visam sir is there. In NEP, we have National Research Fund. Now Indian government is going to concentrate more on creating the research ecosystem, which is going to comprise the government, universities, research institutions, as well as industries. I think this is going to create a beautiful model, not only on delivering the goods, on the research side, so that the research capabilities of our country will increase. And the NRF will basically work towards seeding, funding, coordinating, monitoring research, and innovative initiatives. I think this is a beautiful combination of a platform getting created And that's a beautiful platform, which basically is going to help all the universities and all the stakeholders who is involved in research in our country as well as in other countries. And if you see the recent budget, Honorable Finance Minister, she opened up saying that the external commercial borrowings can be bought up from the other countries. So I think the universities out of the country can have a branch office or a center of excellence or a research initiative within our country. I think we are open for all those suggestions, and we would like to have such kind of a beautiful combinations and working together for a global good. Thank you.
Madam, 1 minute. Thank you, sir. We would like to add further that the institution has conducted 3 programs in disseminating National Educational Policy 2020 last week. So we have conducted 3 expert lectures with the guidance of our management. So we also took part in disseminating the National Educational Policy, and more than 1,000 participants were gaining the experience from 3 days program that I wish to add on behalf of the institutions. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Punyaji and Dr. Chandrasekhar, SRM University of Ramaram campus will try to achieve the dreams spelled out by Honorable Prime Minister Ji, and we will make use of the facilities available provided by AICT. Definitely, our faculty and research scholars will do their best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Punya, sir, we promise to follow the mission of the country and the mission of the state. We will follow the 1 to 4 rule that you said and make us accountable. Next, I request all the dignitaries and event members to pose for a photograph. I request all to switch on the video so that the moderator will be able to take a photograph.
Thank you, ma'am. This is the session. It's a remarkable day for SRM because a lot of inputs we have received from AICT. A lot of participants are there. So to make this moment memorable, we want to take a photo session. So let us thumbs up so that I will take a more number of photos. I request all the participants, dignitaries to cheer the event by thumbs up. Just a minute, I will take one more snap. I will take. Thank you all. One more session, please. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sini sir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Buddha sir,
Thank you
very much.
Thank you, sir.
All the delegates from Malaysia, thank you very much for your extended support to us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Buddha, sir. Thank you. Next, madam. Next,
Lawrence.
VC, madam. VC,
Sir.
madam.
Yes,
Video.
sir. Lawrence may add to one's fame, but in some special cases, they add to the thirst to explore and contribute known to community in this challenging world. One such eminent personality is President and Vice Chancellor of IUKL, Professor Datto Noor Inaya Binti Yaqub. I request her to give the special address. Please, ma'am.
The video, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
A very good morning to everyone present here, and thank you very much for joining us at this international e-conference on research essential in machine learning and computational intelligence. Congratulations for everyone who made this a success, and I apologize for not being able to be there. due to some tight schedule, but I pray with all my heart that a conference to be a success one. It's my pleasure to walk you through to the conference, welcoming distinguished guests, speakers, and delegates who come from all over the country, India and Malaysia, to share their knowledge and enhance our mental horizon. Well done. Today's event is to mark our first joint e-conference between IUKL and SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, Chennai, India, and the second international conference for the SRM. This international e-conference for 2021 aimed to provide a platform for scholars, researchers, educators, students, professionals, and other groups interested in education to present their works on the developments in the three main domains. The first one, machine learning, deep learning. Second, image recognition, artificial neural networks, natural language processing, data analytics, and finally, cloud computing, blockchain technology, and IoT. Further, the conference will also solidify and encompass the engaging needs of the Asia and Southeast Asia professional community. We do hope that we may have this as a conference to be organized annually with a ranging theme. This year, this conference holds special value because this is the first conference that we conducted which is taking place on a digital platform. Due to the changing time caused by the COVID-19, we encourage our participants to stay safe and maintain physical distancing, as a result of which this conference will be the first of many conferences in the future that will be conducted remotely through the use of advanced technologies such as augmented reality and virtual reality. The theme of this conference is emerging technology around the world due to COVID-19 pandemic. We have experts from across the field who will be staying with us for a day, sharing their thoughts, knowledge, and opinions with the rest of us. Technology today is evolving at such a rapid pace, enabling faster change and progress, causing an acceleration of the rate of change until eventually it will become exponential. However, it is not only technology trends and top technologies that are evolving. A lot more has to change this year due to the outbreak of COVID-19, making IT professionals realize that their role will not stay the same in the contactless world for tomorrow. The fourth industrial revolution, 4IR, is expected to change how we live, how we work, and how we communicate. It is also likely to change the things we value and the way we value them in the future. Presently, we can already see changing business models and employment trends. With our experts coming together at such a conference, we can once again expect to share various excellent results on the technology of machine learning and computational intelligence. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the delegates. On behalf of IUKL, Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, we would like to thank you, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, team, IUKL team, lecturers, beloved students, and everyone here for your efforts, hard works, and time to be here today for this e-conference. I hope that in the future, we will be able to conduct conference physically in both Malaysia, India, and other countries as well. I wish everyone a successful, safe, and fruitful e-conference till we meet again. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
bye-bye.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, in absentia for your wishes, and looking forward to collaborate with your university and the team of faculty members in the near future. Sometimes challenges and struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. May you welcome every effort, every struggle, and every challenge. May you open your wings and fly. Finally, It is the time to thank everyone who have attended the inaugural function and those who worked day and night for the success of it. I request Professor Mohammad Nasir Hussain, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Science and Technology, IUKL, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay, good morning and also good afternoon to all guests and also delegates. Okay, I'm Mohammad Nasir, Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Science and Technology from Infrastructure University. As the conference chair for ECREMLACI 2021, I'd like to welcome you to this conference. ECREMLACI has become the worldwide conference for the machine learning and artificial intelligence field. For the ECREMLACI 2021, we have received participation from various states from India and Malaysia. Thanks for this response. All important field of machine learning, IoT, cloud of computing, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, image recognition, and data analytics are covered by the contribution. To our pleasure, several invited sessions has been organized, which open the mind of the researchers beyond one's own field by looking into the complementary field. On top of that, a Best Paper Award will be awarded at the closing session of the conference. All papers received by the deadline will be included in the ECREMLACI conference proceeding, and selected papers will be published on the selected journals. I would like to express my thanks to all authors for their outstanding contribution, and in particular, the members of Program Board for the competent evaluation of the submission. Likewise, I will also like to express my appreciation to the program and award committee, as well as the invited chairs for their careful preparation of the invited session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. From the MC desk, I thank the dignitaries for spending their valuable time with us in spite of the busy schedule for the inaugural function, the second international conference on research essential in machine learning and computational intelligence 2021, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Applications in association with Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I request all the participants to wait for the dignitaries to leave. I have an important announcement about session 1. The event is now handed over to IUKL team and we'll be hearing from them. Dr. Hafiza ma'am and Hasnani.
Madam, now we will start session 1 of our conference. So you please take care of this session, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Shamala Devi and also Dr. Dilip. I am Hasnani binti Hassan from IUKL. I will be your MC for this session. I would like to start with a quote by Jack Makla. He is the president to CFO Leadership Council. He said, machine learning saves costs and eliminates a lot of work that humans find unpleasant, while allowing us to focus on more strategic and people-centric of our jobs. Good afternoon and Assalamualaikum, VIPs, Professor, Associate Professors, our distinguished guest speakers, faculty members, presenters, students, and everyone from SRM and IUKL. Let me brief on the flow of the event that we are going to have. We will start with felicitation addresses from 5 VIPs, and we will proceed with 4 keynote addresses from our experts. So without further ado, I would like to invite Vice Principal of Academic from Science and Humanity College SRM, Dr. N. Asokan, to deliver his felicitation speech.
Thank you very much, Madam. The most respected and distinguished guests, delegates, speakers, authors from India and Malaysia, respected organizers and coordinators of this second International E-Conference on Research Essentials in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence 2021. My dear participants from India and Malaysia, and my dear students, very, very warm good morning from College of Science and Humanities, SRMIST Ramapuram campus, Chennai, India. I am delighted to be part of this international conference. Academic and research are both complement each other. For academic and research, knowledge is fundamental, knowledge is power. Knowledge is both concrete and abstract. Knowledge can be defined as historically shared knowledge that defines the subject matter of a particular discipline. Its knowledge is not static, it's a dynamic one. Changes are made as new ideas and evidences are accepted by the scholarly community. The term knowledge to reflect our belief that disciplines or subject domains are constantly changing and evolving in terms of the knowledge as monodiscipline, interdiscipline, multidiscipline, and transdiscipline that shares a consensus of acceptance within the discipline and across the discipline. This second international conference gives an unlimited opportunity for every researcher to destroy the knowledge created by the previous researcher and creating new knowledge by challenging the every knowledge created by the every researcher every day. Knowledge destruction, knowledge creation, knowledge sharing, and knowledge dissemination is an ongoing continuous process. So I believe that every delegates, every speaker, and every authors created the new knowledge and has an excellent opportunity to present the new knowledge what they created in this conference. So I thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity, and I wish all the delegates, speakers, and authors and participants to have an excellent learning experience for this today. Thank you very much. Get vaccinated, stay safe, stay strong. Once again, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. N. Asokan, for your insightful speech. We would like to call upon IUKL Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Associate Professor T.S. Conway, Dr. Conway.
A very good morning to everyone in India. And of course, good afternoon to everyone in Malaysia. Today, we are here for our first joint e-conference between IUKL and SRM Institute of Science and Technology Ramapuram campus, Chennai, India, and second international conference for the SRM. On behalf of IUKL, we are very honored to have you here today, despite our hard time now that we have to conduct it online on a digital platform. I believe many of us are having hard time doing things online. Does not matter what it is, learning, working, and as for us now, having conference through a digital platform. But this is the very best way for us that we can do. And I believe the purpose that we do this is we want everyone to stay safe. I also believe that this pandemic will not stop us from gaining and sharing new knowledge and, of course, our research findings. Previously, IUKL has done many conferences physically. Since 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, IUKL has also co-organized a number of conferences virtually. Today, again, we are proud to be in partnership and collaboration with SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, Chennai, India, Although we are doing it online and virtually, we still aim to bond many successful people from our university and of course around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is undeniable that technology moves faster than our imagination can keep up with. In a blink of an eye, many new inventions has been invented. We invent one breakthrough technology today, then tomorrow inventors transform it into another we never imagined possible. One example we can say is fifth generation technology. As years passed by, many new technologies were born. We are here today because of technology too, on a digital platform now. Without this technology, we might not be able to gather here today, sharing our ideas and thoughts. This has always been true, and of course, it's happening faster than ever. It's accelerating, which makes it hard to know what the world will look like when we get older. Considering a world without technology, what kind of life do we have now? Technology is an integral important of our life and one of the most important aspects of human survival in a fast-paced environment. New technology development saves lives, improve employment, and make the world a better place. My wish, I hope today's e-conference would bring fruitful information that would bring benefits to everyone here. I hope to see many new inventors, not only from our lovely country, Malaysia and India, but also from all over the world, whom I believe will put our country names to the eye of the world. I, on behalf of IUKL, would like to say thank you to SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus team, IUKL team, the working committee, lecturers, students, and all the participants for your effort, hard work, and time to be here today for this e-conference. I hope that in the future, we will be able to conduct more conferences physically in both Malaysia, India, and also other countries as well. Last but not least, this collaborative effort between IUKL and SRM, I must say, it is very commendable and should be continued in the future. To all presenters and participants, thank you for your time and endless support toward the conference. I hope you will have a great time and take back with you the new knowledge, experiences, network, and happy memories. The COVID-19 battle is still ongoing, and no one of us knows when will it end. Remember, tough time never lasts, but tough people do. I wish everyone all the best and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Conway, for your very warm felicitation address. We would like to invite the Dean Research of SRMIST for his felicitation address.
Thank you. Honorable Chairman, respected Chief Director and Director, my dear colleague Dr. Sundar, Dean, Science and Humanities, Vice Principals of Science and Humanities, and all the dignitaries from IUKL, participants from India and Malaysia, and wish you all a very great morning. First of all, I like to congratulate the Department of Computer Applications of IST Ramapuram and also the Infrastructure University for choosing a very current and needed topic for discussion. As everybody knows, the Industry 4.0 is taking the center stage in the technology development, and hence this topic will be very, very useful for all the participants, both for the researchers and as well as for the faculty members. And I hope the keynote speakers and the paper presentation will open a lot of gateways for your thinking of new technology development. As far as the topic computational intelligence is a blend of theory, design, application, and also development of biological and linguistically motivated computational solutions. Nowadays, as everybody knows, deep learning has become the core method for, one of the core method for artificial intelligence. And most successful artificial intelligence system uses is based, it is working on based on the computation. As everyone knows, one of the major advantage of machine learning over traditional softwares are the algorithms, and it is very useful in what we call the medical fields, and combined machine learning and artificial neural networks is used widely in medical image processing, which is very useful for the medical fraternity to apply and treat the people. I hope this will be a good eye-opening for the collaboration. Already one more conference has already been held. This is the second conference, and we will have a lot of collaborations with Infrastructure University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in future. I wish you all a successful and a very good learning today. Thank you all. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wisdom. We would like to invite IUKL Vice Chancellor Research, Professor Idris Zakaria, for your felicitation address.
Thank you, Madam MC. Ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries from SRM, Technology, SCIENCE&APPLICATIONS, and also from IUKL. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome delegates to the second International E-Conference on Research Essential in Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence, jointly organized by SRM, Institute of Science and Technology, and IUKL. This collaboration between the two institutions within two different countries is very much commendable to promote networking and understanding in common areas of interest. Ladies and gentlemen, machine learning and computational intelligence are becoming a new norm now in education and in many aspects of life. The application of computational intelligence, for example, has been for quite some time, which combine big data and AI. As the size of data is becoming bigger and bigger, a more effective way of data mining and analysis is required, and this calls for more smart or intelligent methods of handling the data. The teaching and learning has also undergone big changes from the traditional face-to-face to machine learning. The evolution has taken at a very fast pace, never seen before in the past. With the advent of AI, IT, and apps, the machine learning is taking place all over the world. The pace is being accelerated with the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic that limit or forbid us from the traditional way of teaching and learning. With the coming of IR 4.0, it will become as a way of life to most of us. I hope this conference will give a very good insight of the current and future trends of machine learning and computational intelligence. I wish every success to all delegates and hope you will have a good time and share your experience in this important conference. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Idris. I agree with you about the technology, big data, AI, and computer intelligence. We would like to call upon the Director of SRMIST, Dr. N. Seturaman, for his felicitation address.
Director, Dr.
V. Subbaya Bharati, madam, please. Yes, sir. Our director, Dr. V. Subbaya Bharati. Sir, please, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Director of SRM.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I extend my best wishes and congratulations to organizers and delegates from both SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Faculty of Science and Humanities, and IUKL Malaysia. On this occasion, I would like to share a few of my thoughts. To begin with, during these times, a country is powerful based on certain parameters. The country is said to be powerful based on very few parameters. One major such parameter is innovation. A country with more innovation, obviously, that country is powerful. So innovation is the key for success of any organization or university or in a larger extent a country. There are two types of innovations. One is sustaining innovation, another one is disruptive innovation. With an example, I'll tell you, sustaining innovation is, you take a camera. Previously, the cameras were with films. Then slowly, when there is a digital transformation, now the cameras are with a card, a memory card, DSLR camera with a memory card. And they increase the resolution to 8 MP, then 20 MP or 30 MP, like that it goes. It is a sustaining innovation because the camera manufacturer would like to keep his product in the market with doing some innovations. But disruptive innovation is, now there are smartphones which challenge the cameras. The smartphones are coming with the camera with very high resolution. Now you take a survey, how many people are now having cameras for taking photographs? They rely on only smartphone to take selfies and photographs. So this is a disruptive innovation. So it completely changes the scenario. Like that, see, previously we had Britannica. Now we rely on only Wikipedia. Netflix is a disruptive innovation. So Netflix is a major disruptive innovation. In the near future, if there are driverless cars, it is going to be a disruptive technology because it is going to completely change the existing scenario. So disruptive technology or innovation which aims at satisfying the future needs of the humanity. But sustaining innovation, they look at satisfying the current needs. That is the difference. Sustaining innovation always look at current needs of the customers or people, but disruptive innovation, which will try to address the futuristic needs. What is the technology today, which is a key enabler for disruptive innovation? Artificial intelligence is a key enabler for disruptive innovation. So in that sense, this particular international conference has taken up topics which are very current and which will come out with disruptive innovation by our students and faculty members and researchers in the near future. So I wish you all the best. This conference will take up such topics which will enable both our countries to become more powerful by coming out with lot of disruptive innovation in the near future. Our universities will contribute to the development of the respective nations. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Subia Bharati.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
In the next session, we are going to listen to 4 brilliant speakers. They are going to share us their expertise in various fields through their keynote addresses. I would like to introduce the first speaker, Professor T.S. Dr. Sim Yi Wai is a founder of R&D Center of Drone Technology and Application. His PhD funded by University of Southampton, UK, in the area of expert finding system using machine learning technology. He has been working in several postdoctoral projects, which include Rolls-Royce, Jaguar, Land Rover, all the big names in automotive industry, for optimizing the design process. He is currently professor and the Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, Quest International University, Malaysia. So, Prof, we would like to hear your keynote address.
Right, thank you for the introductions. So once again, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Prof. T.S. Dr. Sim, and I'm coming from Quest International Universities at Malaysia. So very good day to all. So I believe some of our participants are coming from Malaysia, some from India, maybe from some other places. So I would like to express my gratitude to the conference organizer for inviting me as a keynote speaker to talk about the digital workforce and Industrial 4.0. So I believe that this word has been mentioned time and again, Industrial 4.0 in today's sessions. And because the core of it is actually automation, and automation is actually we need artificial intelligence. And of course, that goes to machine learning and also computational intelligence, right? So this is where I'm going to anchor my speech today. So I would like to kick off my presentations by first reviewing the industrial revolutions, right? That started from late 18th century until present day, as the revolution has close relationships to our main topic today, which is a digital workforce. I'm sure the audiences here today are no strangers to the words Industrial 4.0 or Industrial Revolutions. Manufacturing has actually gone through a few major transformations, right, which the world had went through or continues to experience today. So the first industrial revolutions happened in 18th century, and during this period of time, manufacturing evolved from manual labor to machinery powered by steam engines. So this is very important, right? This is what happened, right? How we get the revolutions happen. Late in 1870s, the world entered to second industrial revolutions with the introductions of electricity, which enable manufacturers to become more efficient. It was during this phase that the mass production concepts like the assembly line were introduced, right, as a way to boost productivity. And starting in the late 1960s, a third industrial revolution slowly began to emerge, as the manufacturers began incorporating more electronics and eventually computer technology into their factories. And during these periods, manufacturers were experiencing a shift that put more emphasis on digital technology and automated productions, right? So it sounds very familiar to what happened in IR 4.0, but there is actually a very significant difference between the third one and the fourth one, right? So now we are on the fourth industrial revolution, right? It's building on top of the third one. The digital revolution that has occurring since the middle of the last century. So it is for the fourth industrial revolution, it is actually characterized by a fusion of technologies that is actually blurring the lines between physical, digital, and biological domains, right? I will talk more in details how all of these industrial revolutions has actually affected our global economy in details later on. So, but before that, I would like to introduce a term, right? So this term is actually called the general purpose technologies, right? So I'm sure by now you have noticed that every industrial revolution was actually driven by a key technology. So these key technologies, we usually call them as general purpose technology. Right, so it's terms coined by the economists. General purpose technology is an innovation technology that has substantial and pervasive society and economic effects, right, in global scale, changing the way we live and changing the way we work as well. Right. So, for example, right, in the first industrial revolutions, we have the steam power. So steam engines, electricity in the second industrial revolutions, and ICTs in the third industrial revolutions were regarded as the three classic general purpose technologies by economists. So the first industrial revolution used steam power to mechanize production. The second used electric power to create mass productions. And the third, use ICTs to automate productions, right? So this is how we transition between the different revolutions. And although all industrial revolution had brought economic growth globally, but they have significant differences in how they affect the creation of new jobs and income growth. Okay, so let's look at the Industrial 1 and 2, right? So Industrial 1.0 and 2.0 had actually revolutionized the manufacturing process, and at the same time introduce a de-skilling effect. So this is very important, right? So the skilled labors were eliminated and replaced by technologies, right, operated by semi or unskilled labors. So such transformations led to the increase of productivity and lowering of the production costs. And of course, there were victims, and the victims who are actually, in this case, the skilled labors. And they are not very happy as their jobs and livelihoods were threatened. So this leads to another thing, we call it the Lutyens effects, right? So there is actually a major event happened in the first industrial revolution where the skilled textile workers protested violently, right, by destroying the textile machinery, right? This protester, we call them Lutyens. So job loss at this textile industry was significant at the beginning, but in later decades, new jobs emerged. And as the service sectors and the office jobs started to open up, with the introduction of a textile machine, consumers can afford to buy clothes at a lower price, giving them more disposable income to buy other goods. And with this technological change, we see increased demand for new products, which in turn leads to creation of new jobs. Hence, the term Lutyens fallacy was coined for referring to the fears that machines would take human jobs away. So I think that also have some been widely discussed in our Industrial 4.0 as well, right? Where we have to fear the machines may be taking our jobs away. So that happened actually in the first industrial revolution as well. So believers of Lutyens fallacy would think that the fears of technological change are unfounded because newer and better jobs will be created in the long term, right? So this is the first theory that this group of people believe that the disruptions of this technology is actually going to bring in global economic growth and at the same time newer and better jobs, right? Make our life better. So this is what they think. So can we apply Lutyens fallacy to the third industrial revolution, which is driven by ICTs? Well, I would say the answer is no, because the radical transformation brought by the third industrial revolution was favoring skill-biased labors, right? So previously, we see that the disruption was actually the skill labors actually has been replaced, but this one is favoring skill-biased labors, right, in the production technology. So this led to a widening of income inequality, which translates to inequality in wealth as well. So that basically means that if you are a skilled laborers, then you get paid with a high income. If you're not a low skilled workers, then you get very low income. So there is a gap between in the labor force, right? So this is what's happening. And this actually has a research on it, right? So we call this actually the great decoupling effect. So such phenomena has actually been studied in the States, in the United States, by two MIT professors, and they come up with the terms great decoupling, right? It's often used by economists to describe the economic decoupling of productivity, wages, jobs, and GDP growth, right? Which are the four key measurements for the economic health. So looking at the chart on my slides, we can see that the labor productivity and GDP growth has decoupled, right, from median household income starting about 1990s, right? In other words, a growing economy and increased in labor productivity are no longer leading to as many new jobs or as much wages growth as in the past. So from 2002 to 2007, the top 1% of the people in the States actually has owned the 2/3 of all the gains from the growth in the US economy. So that's actually has made a very wide gap in between the income of the household in the United States. And similar trends were also observed at other developed countries such as Sweden, Finland, and Germany. Right. So we will look in, maybe we'll try and predict what's going to happen in the fourth industrial revolution, because we just embarked on it. We don't know what's going to be happening, but there is actually, we can learn from the history how we can predict what we need to be cautious about in this fourth industrial revolution. So the first and second industrial revolution had disrupted manual labor, right? While the third industrial revolution had impacted the connective labor. So I would say the Industrial 4.0 will disrupt both the manual labor and the connective labor, as the new technologies has been introduced to automate these tasks. So with the advancement of artificial intelligence and robotic technologies, there is actually 50% of chance machines can outperform humans in all tasks in just 45 years. It's actually based on reports, right, by Oxford universities and Yale universities in 2017. So they have made such a predictions. And well, I would not agree 100% with the research, right? They say it's 50%, is quite high. So I believe jobs that need creativities and social interactions will still be best handled by humans, right? So we won't be losing all the jobs to our machine. Not at this moment of time. So I will also foresee that the great decoupling trend will continue in Industrial 4.0, since it's building up on top of the Industrial 3.0. Therefore, we need to prepare ourselves and the next generation towards the Industrial 4.0 now. We'll talk more about it in the next slides, right? So how will actually the jobs be affected, right, by Industrial 4.0? Some jobs, I would say, will be obsolete. Some jobs will evolve, and perhaps last but not least, some jobs, of course, the new ones be created. So jobs that are in danger of being obsolete, right, of routine types, right, found in structured environments. Jobs that may vanish in the futures also include those that can be optimized using data and involve no or minimum social interactions. For example, cashiers, truck drivers, finance and insurance professionals, right? So this is actually happening at the moment, right? But not on a very wide scale, but it's actually happening now. So jobs that are going to evolve are basically sharing similar features with the obsolete type, but with a difference of strong social interaction elements. So examples are teachers, tour guides, maybe wedding planners, receptionists. And take myself for examples, right? Lecturers nowadays need to know how to use online tools for teaching and learning. And we have to learn how to communicate with students using social media platforms. So with this ease of access to information, basically at your fingertips, the lecturer's role is actually changing from teaching to facilitate. So that is what's happening in our area of work now, right, in academics. So we are actually evolving. Last but not least, there will be new jobs created to support the new technologies in the Industrial 4.0, such as AI scientists, IoT engineers, and some job titles that may not even cross my mind. So for example, I wouldn't thought of e-hailing drivers or food delivery writer as a job, right, 10 years ago. So actually, how badly is Industrial 4.0 is going to impact the job market? Again, based on the report published by McKinsey, right, not long ago, they said that by 2030, up to 30 to 40% of all the workers in developed countries may need to move into new occupations, or at least upgrade their skill set significantly. So we need to be prepared for that. So what can we do about it? Well, the answer is actually to equip ourselves with the latest digital skills, right, in the areas such as AI, data science, robotics, and of course, don't forget about our 4Cs for the 21st century skills, which is essentially right? Our creativities, our communications, our critical thinkings, and our collaboration, because those things is actually we can do much better compared to the machines, right? So this we have to get hold of them. So I will talk about higher learning institutions, how they reacted to such a learning needs later in my presentation. But for now, let's look at how the big companies or organizations reacted to such a situations. So if you look at Amazon, Amazon actually has announced in 2019 that they will spend about 700 million to train 100,000 of their employees for higher skill jobs, right, over the next 6 years. So Amazon will pay for the employees who attend the company's machine learning universities, right, or learn software development skills through their Amazon Technical Academy. Right, so basically they are preparing their staff, right? Instead of their laying off the staff, they want to retain, but at the same time they will retrain the staff to be equipped with these digital skills. So this is what Amazon been doing. And JP Morgan Chase, they also said they're going to invest in 5 years' time, $350 million to develop technical skills in their companies as well, right? So the move by Amazon and JP Morgan Chase are just the latest in the series of efforts by large companies to attract and retain workers in one of the tightest labor markets resulted from the emerging Industry 4.0. So we usually refer to these technology leading countries, right, for references. I'm sure India will be doing something similar as well. As I just now I heard that the government from India actually has put in a lot of plans, right, to be aligned with the Industry 4.0 development as well. And I'm going to talk about in higher learning institutions for now. So,
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Kindly
Yes.
adjust the screen, sir. It is not completely visible, sir.
Can you see now?
It is partially, yeah, now it is fully visible.
Now it is completely.
Okay,
now
right,
it is okay, sir.
Okay, my
Thank you, sir.
apology for that. My apology
thank
for
you,
that.
sir.
Right, hopefully that.
No problem, sir.
Yes, yeah. No, okay.
Thank you,
so
sir.
Thank you for reminding. So I'm just about to touch about the end of my slides here. So it's about higher learning institutions. So how do we react to Industry 4.0? So traditionally, higher learning institutions design and deliver programs leading to recognize what. Well, typically, these programs are designed to provide knowledge and skills over 3 to 4 years of studies and preparing the graduates to enter the job market. However, right, given the rapid changes in the global economy, the graduates must continue to learn so that they can remain productive through their lifespan. So the need of continuously professional development and the growth of internet led to the development of online and e-learning activities, which later evolve into, we call it MOOC, the Massive Open Online Courses. So these online courses are offering high value and in-demand courses, often in collaborative with Ivy League universities and global technology companies, right, to learn for the learners where they can either learn it with free of charge or at a very low cost. So the new way of learning is not only viewed as a supplementary to formal higher educations, it can also with proper guidance can become an alternative to traditional higher education. So with that, I would like actually to end my slides here. So that just want to tell that although we see that Industry 4.0 is happening, AI is actually trying to automate a lot of the tasks, but humans actually, we still have the upper hands, right, in the place of doing this high-end creativity and interpersonal jobs. And thank you for listening today. So I hope that today you all will be benefited from my presentations. All right, thank you very much. I'll pass the floor back to Hannah, to the IUKL. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Sim, for your knowledge share. I'm a little bit old school, so I'm scared to interrupt while you are giving your speech. Okay, may I now invite Dr. N. Vijayalashmi to introduce our next keynote speaker from Tata Consultancy Services Limited.
Yeah, ma'am, I take the privilege of introducing the chief guest, Dr. Karthikeyan Vayyapuri. Doctor, thank you for the opportunity given. Dr. Karthikeyan Vayyapuri is a research scientist and retail research vision head at Tata Consultancy Services, Research and Innovation. He has received his doctorate from University of London, QMUL, UK under the guidance of Ibrol. He worked on Airbus EU PF7 MISSA project with collaboration from academic and industrial partners. He is having a degree of MS from National University of Singapore under the guidance of Professor Mohan. He received his BTech from School of Engineering from Great Bharadas University, Tiruchirappalli, India. Prior to joining TCS, he was working as a senior R&D software engineer at Samsung R&D Institute, Staines, United Kingdom. He also held lecturer R&D software engineer experience. He is active in research activities related to 3D geometry, computer vision, multimedia, and does top-tier publications like book chapters, technical disclosures, patents, both in India as well as in the US, to his credit. He actively participated as BOS member, judge, expert panel member, chair, chief guest in various functions, conferences from reputed universities. And this is the third occasion Dr. Karthikeyan Vayyapuri is associating with us. He is a well-wisher of our institution. With this small introduction, let me invite Karthikeyan Vayyapuri sir for his speech, and I am sharing his presentation. Welcome Karthikeyan Vayyapuri sir for this hearing purpose. Let me check. My screen is visible. Our screen is visible. Karthikeyan sir, over to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
So today, I'm very happy to be with you all on this great occasion of this conference. I thank Dr. Venkatachalamurthy sir, SRM team, and all SRM officials. So today my talk will be on neuromorphic models and AI evolution. So just looking back at the things, what happened a few years ago and what we are doing and how research trends will be. So we'll be discussing in those lines. So when we say intelligence, mimicking intelligence, so we are trying to mimic the human intelligence to up to a level, because human intelligence is never replicable, because the potentiality of human intelligence is not fully unrevealed yet. What we are trying to do with AI is we try to mimic this intelligence to a certain extent as the infrastructure facility increases, data storage, computation facility increases. So a lot of new technologies get emerged, and we try to bring it together to a certain extent. So we'll discuss what is happening, and eventually this pave to applications such as, like, for example, service to people, smart agents on the edge. It could be industrial or some research perspective, right? So intelligence from where? So intelligence from where means, for example, using the data that come from multimodal sensors. So like human having 5 sensors. So the lot of this, there is also one more sense, right? 6th sense. So this 5 sense, tactile, so these type of sensors, audio, video, text, and all those things, we are trying to get a multimodal assimilation of this information and try to do. So one have, so data is the not just the model data, is the abstract representation of the quantity of the realistic entities and perceived objects. Because in the lab, what we do is typically we take some model data and we do some experiments. So data, information, knowledge, and intelligence. So precisely what I'm trying to tell is, if you compare the conventional machine learning models and biologically inspired models, in the discovery of many algorithms, it is always inspired from some models. For example, say if you take human brain inspired models. So for example, people who work on visual attention and saliency maps would be aware of this Iticox saliency map attention model. I will try to give an example. There is another thing. For example, it could also be from the behavior of fellow creatures. For example, ant colony optimization, bird flocks. So a human get inspired from himself, inspired from the nature, inspired from the creatures outside himself and he tries to build algorithms based on it. For example, deep learning, right, is based on neurons again. So he tried to mimic the nature capability to certain extent, and he brings a very interesting flavor of cognitive mechanism, sensation, quantification, qualification, estimation, memory, and reasoning. So what I am exactly telling here is, recently, if you know deep learning models, there is some network called spinal net. I come across spinal net and progressive spinal net. Again, the architecture behind the spinal net is based on our spinal cord, our own spinal cord. Very interesting, right? So I will give some example for that. So the aim of my talk is to somehow enlighten few students here, at least some students, so that his innovation capability, his or her innovation capability could slightly get sparkled from the nature around us. Okay, so the next slide, if you see neuromorphic attention model, so this is what exactly I'm telling. This is actually a neuromorphic attention model. So where you have an image and have colors, intensities, and orientations, and come up with a saliency map. So suppose when you look at an object, where exactly we are looking at it. So human brain is designed in such a way that it lets look at where it has a pop-up effect or less attention towards it. So how does it happen? And how you are going to build a computational neuron model based on that, right? So for example, here you see the scientists have built an algorithm where he find color, contrast, and orientation map, and then come up with the different conspicutive maps, and then come up with a winner take all rule, and then says that this is the human being exactly looking at it. Typically in lot of real world applications, next slide please. So this, actually, if you want to have a look at a very closer into it, you can look at my profile where I have done my thesis at Singapore NUS, where I have done interesting images in albums using a visual attention. So basically we do a lot of this modeling, and then we try to do this, where the interesting object is. So then interestingness is related to attention. A lot of attention is the sensorial attention, intellectual attention, immediate attention, derived attention, passive attention, active attention, right? And also interestingness, what is interestingness specifically? So before even building the type of algorithms, we need to go on, do a thorough study of basic history behind the science. For example, we always look for the science actually, right? But we should also, to understand we should also know what is the history of the science, like what are all the previous things that has been happened, and what are all the new attributes that could be added in the current trending scenario. For example, undoubted attributes, probable attributes. For example, those days depth maps are not available. I will tell you, because that, for example, that time this computation is very expensive. We have all stereo images and what are things to do. But nowadays, the technology has gone so far that with single image depth information can be identified. So this is the person on the left side is ET, where basically he did all this computation maps and do some sort of winner take all rule, Gaussian maps, right? All those things to come up with the final output. And whether the final output is useful to us or industry or clients or any person, this is a question mark, right? Because they say it is a human brain capability. But in real world, what do you feel, right? The next slide, please. So here, what we did is, it's very long back work where basically I designed an attention system, eChronicle web-based attention system, where you give a huge amount of photos of your own family or your friends, and then try to identify what are all the interestingness. So those days, you have the saliency-based attention, face-based, group-based, shift-based. So a lot of features are getting extracted. So these pipelines, and then identifying what are all the common features in it. So then, a sort of relevance feedback mechanism is incorporated. That is what I'm telling. Like when you say there are two approaches, one is bottom-up approach, second one is top-down approach. Bottom-up approach is purely based on the human brain cognition capability. Top-down approach is based on the goal and the expected output. People try to do the experiments and design the code. Okay, so next slide, please. So initially the system provide the random images, and then based on the features, based on the images he selects, the system understand what are all the common attributes present in those images, and then do a similarity search, and then come up with this relevance feedback mechanism, and then retrieval system. Like what are all the commonality in those images, it will try to group cluster it together and it will give us an output. Okay, next image. So here, as I mentioned earlier, so this is with bottom-up saliency model, and then now coming to deep learning approach. So you see this again, there is an input pre-neuron, synapse, post-neuron, and other those things. So in 2021 and 2026, actually, there is a large scope of neuromorphic computing. So that is like a memristor-based neuromorphic low voltage. For example, when you have this type of quantum neuromorphic systems, neuromorphic quantum computing is a new topic. And again, quantum neuromorphic system is again very much interesting, right? You know, 0 to 1. So the lot of things that can be related to the nature actually, like for example, like full moon to dark moon, right? You know, 0 to 1. And you know bit 0, 1. And what is this intermediate? So when you try to understand quantum, it will be very funny. Like it is neither 0 nor 1. So it is what is an intermediate state, and you all those things actually, when you learn yourself, you should try to see correlate to what is happening and what is the science behind it. Then only you will come up with some sort of eureka sort of things. So basically that brain sort of neurons. So you have the synapses, right, trying to mimic to the electronic systems, circuits and other things. So this side of the relationship is happening here. Okay, next slide. So this is the typical convolutional CNN based architecture, right? So you have this convolution layers, max pooling layers, this one. So what is the intuition behind it again? So what I'm saying is anybody can build any deep learning neural networks and other things, but what is the intuition behind it? Sir, I just put 5 layer model, 7 layer model, 10 layer model, I got this result. There is no innovation, right? So innovation should always get inspired from something, right? For example, people who works on deep learning could come across this type of teacher-student network. Teacher network and student network, transformer networks. All these are trending algorithms. I have one slide on that. So basically what I'm saying is this type of networks come up with an inspiration even from schools, right? And also whatever the network we build, there is something called adversarial network, where actually they say that this is, I will give false data and try to fool the network. So there is a special conference on those type of, on those aspects also. So there is always pros and cons, and to do exact research, right? So basically we need to understand all those different aspects and come up with this algorithm. Okay, next slide. So then this is what actually I told, spinal net. Okay, so you can see the spinal human being and how the author is actually saying that, okay, based on these superficial personal nerve, common personal nerves, sciatic nerve, sacral plexus, lumbar, intercostal, brachial plexus, brain, and I am actually exactly correlating to the deep neural architecture. Nobody knows how exactly this maps to this one, but the community is actually appreciating this type of novel aspects coming inside and other things. But also there are some limitations that if you read the paper, actually you just go and Google yourself and get the paper, you can see that, sir, I'm actually only getting these covering only 2-3 aspects of the spinal cord. I'm not actually covering the full spinal cord aspects. I'm not covering all this. Even for the bottom-up model also, we are not covering it. So that is unleashing the full powerness of the architecture, which is inside the nature, is actually very, very challenging. And okay, the next slide, please. So there is also one network called what you call a progressive spinal net. So spinal net actually got released 1 year back, and progressive spinal net, I think it's so another author actually come up with another algorithm. So people do research based on their own understanding and then come up with different aspects of it. So here, this is what I said earlier. Long back, with one particular image, to get a depth map, for example, if a robot want to take an object from a particular scene, so you need to understand the depth information and based on the displacement from the robot from this particular position to that, to pick that particular object, to understand the full degree of freedom and other things. So, but now there are a lot of sophisticated algorithms that with single image, actually the depth map which I am showing on the slide are actually from only single image. Okay, so just with single image, we are able to get depth map and 3D point cloud. So this is the state of the art using again deep learning algorithm, CNN. Next. So this is again different aspects of it. For example, geometry, spectral, and DL. So we are saying that, okay, I'm inspired from deep learning, I'm inspired from neuromorphic models, I'm inspired from depth map, and then geometry, then model-based vision. So we got inspired from a lot of algorithms, get a lot of results, but how could you build a perfect algorithm, right? For example, you see the aircraft there. So using the geometry model-based knowledge, so we try to identify where is the demarcation or the anomaly present. And in the below part, basically, you see the spectral analysis. By using spectral algorithms, we are actually trying to identify the same. On the right-hand side, there is a visualization, basically, where we use deep learning-based algorithms to semantically segment the different parts of the object using deep vision and other things. Again, if you go deep into those algorithms, recently I saw just last year, there is a very good paper on 3D segmentation. So basically, before even using the neural networks, they try to do some sort of nearest neighbor clustering of the 3D points. Because when you do semantic segmentation, we have to group, for example, the wings of the flight in a particular color, and the rudder in particular color, right? Tailgate in particular color. So this type of clustering algorithms, nearest neighborhood points, what are all the different types of sub data structures behind it? For example, say convex trees, a lot of in Wikipedia itself, you will find those type of very basic mathematical data structure points. And when you see a paper to paper difference, the different types of data structures are being explored. Okay, and this work which I am showing is the joint work with IIT Madras. So basically using octree based nearest neighborhood search. But I have seen a paper last year which is published in EURIPS, and that is based on convex trees and other things. So what I'm saying is those type of advanced mathematics data structure algorithms and those things we need to understand basically to do this type of algorithms rather than just looking at the API present in the advanced packages. Okay, next slide. So again, this is the more the detailed description of different parts of the aircrafts, different parts, rudders, and so many things, right? So we're just trying to do analysis and these things. Okay, next slide. So I'll try finish in 5 minutes. Okay. So this is the, again, whatever this segmentation, different semantic segmentation, different parts and other things of the cars, the same thing like I showed for aircrafts. This is with the bonnet and tires and those things. Okay, next. Yeah, this is with the real world scenario. Basically, this is actually I already presented it. This is the car we take, and then we take the real world, lot of noises are there, and we do some semantic segmentation, and then try to do some sort of fitting. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so I think this I presented in the last year conference also at same SRM. So basically self-supervised learning curriculum, multimodal, right? So many things present, capsule networks, ontology, ensemble based, low shot, one shot, few shot, zero shot. Okay, so many things, prototypical networks, explainable AI and other things. So as you see the teacher student networks, and then so you now trying to map between what we discussed at the earlier slide and now till now, what is the exact novelty part and what are the, so one person get innovator inspired from teacher student relationship and try to model this one, and then one person got, so we are doing a lot of annotations, lot of human like training, and then get a very good result. And then some people say no, annotation is very hard job, it's very difficult for me, I want one very good result with only few annotations. And then one person say no, I don't need annotation at all, system somehow need to do with zero shot, with completely unsupervised learning. And there are algorithms for weakly supervised. So many expectations are there, so many these things are there, but then what is the trade-off between the accuracy? So, and then all the researchers, right, do with a lot of TBs of data, GBs of data. So many things are there. Okay, the next slide. So the final part which I want to cover is whatever we do, whatever the research we do, unless it is deployed on the real world scenario, it is not at all visible. I mean, because convincing the reviewers or the audience is not enough, right? If the audience get convinced only by seeing exactly what he's telling, whether it is happening or not, right? Otherwise, so that is why there are a lot of edge-based computing algorithms are there, and I think edge-based computing is also one of the theme of this conference. So basically, you have pre-trained models, and then you have this OpenMinnow optimized this inference, where you have this mobile-based computing, mobile-based deep learning architecture deployment, and then so this type of field is also very trending one. Okay, next. So then this is a small some experiment I have done with progressive spinal net, whether this is the theory is working or not. I took some fruit-based data set and then to some banana, different types of bananas are there, different types of fruits are there. Fruits 360 data set is available in the public, this one. And then we took the data set and then we trained it and we classified it, and it's progressive spinal net is quite accurate actually. Okay, next. Okay, so these are the few papers actually, because I've been discussing a lot of images, right? And there is no reference to where it is coming from and other things. So I have given a lot of reference here, and also for the finding interesting images in albums using attention. So those paper is also available in the internet actually. So if you want some very specific information or detailed description of whatever I have discussed today, please go to these references and then you can have a good feel about it. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope this is just a keynote talk. So this was since last time it was like, I don't know, 2.5 hours and 3 hours technical talk, right? It's it's too much talk that time. Actually, I'm very happy that this time you just gave 15 minutes. I'm very happy to for this opportunity, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would like to remember one thing. Last year, you came as a chief guest for inaugural function of our international FDP, and we have discussed your the part of your thesis that was highly interesting. Today also, we are very happy to witness a wonderful presentation from your side. A lot of information for researchers. They can definitely carry forward your advices. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Hansani, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Kartikeyan Vayapuri, for your sharing on neural networks and sub-areas of machine learning. I would like to invite our next speaker. I would like to introduce him. Mr. Zulkifli May graduated from University Science Malaysia in Computer Science and Management. He is currently working as General Manager of IT at SRT Eon Security Services. He has more than 26 years in software development and IT implementation, ranging from property to oil and gas. Welcome, Mr. Zulkifli, for your keynote address.
Can you listen?
Yeah, your slide is visible, sir. Yeah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everybody in India and Malaysia. Okay, today I would like to share my project on the ATM machine that we developed in my company. So a little bit about my company background. We are the SRT Eon Security Services. We provide the security services to nationwide in Malaysia, ranging from the static guard, armed guard, cash in transit, SRDM, CDM, and also the ATM machine. Okay, we established since 1982, and we are top 5 security company in Malaysia from 900 company. And then we have more than 1,200 staff. Our motto is that the name that you can trust, meaning that we focus more on the quality. And then our customer ranging from the bank, insurance, government, GLC, and private sector. So when you're looking at the position, the top 5 from the over 900 company, meaning that the competition for the business is there. So we need a good technology to compete with our customer. Okay, my topics that I'm to share today is how machine learning change in ATM service. ATM service is one of our service to the customer. I believe that everybody know about the ATM, say the auto teller machine that already withdraw the money and also deposit your money into the accounts. So we'll look on the importance of the AI technology in the cash measurement. So when we're talking about the ATM, it's more about the how we managing the money. So then the agenda today is the impacts of the machine learning technology on the cash measurement, how we setting up the forecasting information, and then the role of the interactive forecasting in ATM service, and the benefit of interactive forecasting technology. And last, how we integrate the forecasting information with the route measurement in our daily activities. So the impact of the machine learning technology on the cash management, as you know, we need to, our company, we need to what you call manage the cash properly. Instead of we have sufficient float at our cash center for our services, we need to manage the cash properly. Instead of we withdraw a lot of money to the physical money to our cash center. Okay. The technology is powerful that has changed how the security company loading the money into the ATM machine, and then how our customer, the bank, save a lot from this technology, meaning that they will put the sufficient and optimize their money in the ATM machine. And it will provide the staff, our staff, to access the data, the information, and access the framework of communicating and working together. Here, I would like to compare between the traditional ATM loading service and also the services with the technology. So everything on the traditional, more to physical access of the data and the location, like the calling, cash center, email, information, etc. And then the data is limited access on the real time. So they need to, the data will get to the customer and also to our planner very late. So it's difficult for the team to get the cash balance in the ATM machine, cash balance in our cash center or the float, and also the money that is transit in our what you call van. So the traditional still involves the customer call center, is very manual, that need to request to load the service. So when we embark on the technology, so everything is digitalized. We have wider access to ATM balance status on the real time. Our cash center float balance is very optimized, and the CIT team relation we can detect and we know where are they, like where are their location, and then more available access to the information and tool that communicate as well the collaboration. So meaning that all the information is accessible anywhere, anytime, using our web application as well as our mobile application. So with this, it enable more self-service action for the ATM loading services. So next, I would like to show how we set up the ATM loading forecast. First, there are 5 steps actually. First step is we extract the historical data from our database. So the historical data will extract the previous loading balance trend based on the ATM machine location, population, the economic activities, and also whether it's the weekend or the weekdays. So meaning that if the population is high, then the needs to the frequent to load the machine is very high as well. So next step is we get the latest current information based on the event. For example, some of the information like the payday for our for the government servant, the date is not what I call fixed. Normally they depend on certain criteria such as the school holiday, festival season, and etc. So this information need to be planned and be input upfront, and then it's come to go to the third step where the first information and the second information will be joined together, and we map with our machine learning model that are suitable to our forecasting that fit to our data, and will allow forecasting and the demand for the replenish the ATM machine. And the next step, the information will be generated as our scheduling into our scheduling for route management. So the data will used by the CIT planner, our ATM planner, to plan their routing. Is in order to optimize their what I call their activity, their loading activity. Okay. Next, the role of the interactive forecasting in ATM service. The interactive forecasting help create predictions for the ATM loading, meaning that we need to predict because our SLA with customer that we cannot allow the ATM machine to be downtime. So we need to plan upfront. You know, when the money is not sufficient or not available in the ATM machine, the machine definitely will go downtime. It will ensure the company will provide the loading activity on time and meet our customer SLA. The data and the information change every second, yeah, because we cannot predict on day-to-day how much transaction on the mesh, the cash withdrawal and also deposit into the machine. So it's very important that we have certain information that can forecast, can predict what is the trend that we should load to the money to the ATM machine when it reaches certain percentage. Okay, the next, the benefit of the interactive forecasting technology. So there are two, the benefit to the customer as well as benefit to our company as the service provider. So the loading ATM with adequate amount of at the right time, meaning that this one will not allow the downtime when we replenish the ATM machine. Next, the benefit to our company that we can monitor and track the cash flow efficiently. So we know the balance or cash in our cash processing center, that if the money is not enough, we can ask for our team to withdraw from the bank for our to prepare the ATM, what we call ATM bags for the loading activity. And then we also can manage and track the ATM team on the real time, because tracking them is very important because it's about the security. And then with that, we able to fulfill demand or ad hoc service to our customer easily. Okay. The next part is about the routing management. As I said just now, when we do forecasting, we able to get the information. So with our mobile technology, we use the routing management that the ATM planner can use when they on mobile. So it will help the ATM planner to plan for multiple team and multiple routes with forecasting data. Planner have ample time to prepare the resource for ATM loading trip, choose the best routing that will save a lot of money and time. Meaning that with the routing management, they will able to find the shortest distance or the shortest time that they can deliver the money. And then productively help cash planner to do cash management. Like I said just now, the cash planner can plan for replenish the cash flow, keep adequate cash flow on the cash center, and plan for physical cash deposit into bank. It will help cash planner to do the fast ATM balancing. Then here is the overall process. The output from the ATM loading from the cash planner will become the source for the ATM planner to plan for the ATM loading trip. So for the multiple machine and multiple location, it will be easily done, more efficiently. Then I reach my last slide. The conclusion is that machine learning is an effective tool that can make ATM loading more meaningful and engaging for customer and service provider. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zulkifli, for sharing with us about machine learning and cache management, as well as routing management of ATM. May I now invite Dr. N. Vijayalashmi to introduce our next keynote speaker.
I, Dr. N. Vijayalakshmi, has the privilege to welcome Dr. G. Akila ma'am. Dr. G. Akila ma'am has completed her PhD at Anna University. Her area of specialization are knowledge representation and tracing, stenography, cheminformatics, big data analytics, and AI. She has worked as a professor at NIT Puducherry from 2013 and currently acts as a registrar in charge NIT Puducherry. She is an ex-officio secretary and to the the institutions such as the Board of Governors and the Senate Finance Committee and the Building Works Committee. To her credit, she has published several papers in peer-reviewed journals and had a wide knowledge in the field of computer science. Now I request Dr. G. Akila ma'am to give her keynote address.
Yeah. So, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries present in this meeting. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate the Department of Computer Science and Applications, College of Science and Humanities, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus for conducting this second International Machine Learning and Computational Intelligence Conference. And I congratulate all the candidates who are going to present their innovative work. So as for this particular international conference, from the application side, many of the speakers, they have given their views. I am a pure academician. Right from the beginning, I am only in academics. Recently, I am doing the administrative work. So as a computer science person, I have a lot of things in my mind. I would like to give that information or share that information to all the participants of this international conference so that it may kindle or it may give them a direction where to start or how to go about it, what is required. As in the inaugural function, our vice chairman has rightly pointed out, in 2047, the vision, what it is, what we are supposed to give it to the community, that is an important question in everybody's mind, what I can give or what I can contribute. So in this angle, in this machine learning and computational intelligence, what I thought is, I would like to introduce the base where we have to, as a researcher or as a teacher, what I have to give it to the students and where they can start. So to start with this, if you take this machine learning and computational intelligence without introducing or telling about what is artificial intelligence, I could not go or I could not start. So whenever I talk about artificial intelligence, immediately the knowledge, the word knowledge will come to our mind. So very simply, we are telling that knowledge is available. From that, we have to do the processing and all those things. What is that knowledge? How it is being stored? From the computer science angle, we have to think that how it is being stored. In other words, we will call it as knowledge representation. So knowledge representation is an important aspect for a core researcher to think about how it is stored. Upon the basic structure, now we can build on it. For example, one of the representation methods people right now they are using is our relational database, okay, relational structure, we can call it as, or sometimes we are storing it in text, that is structured or unstructured. When all these kinds of things are available, now when I would like to go for processing, how that information is being processed, definitely we will expect that the data should be available in a uniform format or universal format. but that is not existing in this world. So as a researcher, can we do anything at the representation level? That's the one thing as a researcher we can think about it. Then, okay, we have conveniently represented, somehow we got one structure. With that information, what I'm supposed to do, why it is, where it is used. So we need to have the processing. So whenever I do the processing, there are a lot of algorithms, methodologies available right now. But is there any connection between this and the represented knowledge? Definitely there is a connection. So depending on the algorithm or the method or whatever I have chosen, if it is in the mapping format or it is the comfortable format for the algorithm to work on, so then definitely the algorithm can give a better output. Whenever I say the better output, the word inferencing or reasoning comes to our mind. So what is reasoning or inferencing? Data is available or knowledge is available. I'm doing some kind of processing. And from that processing, the result I'm going to give, that's based on the reasoning or the inferencing. What are all the various inferencing technique available, reasoning technique available, everything we know, question answering. So in this context, an important word now comes to our mind is learning, because the title itself says learning, machine learning. So if you say how human we learn, an example I can give you. For a small or a young child, if you show only the cat picture, and if you say that this is the cat, this is the cat, this is the cat, where the child has not seen the tiger photo or tiger at all. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, please continue, ma'am. Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, please continue, ma'am.
Okay. So whenever we give that information, we show the picture of the tiger, even though the child has not seen the tiger earlier, somehow the correlation it will do, the answer we may that we may expect is, it may give big cat, but it has seen only the cat so far, okay, maybe in picture or in reality. So how it is happening? How the child has learned that only seeing the cat, then it could give that the correlation, how it is happening. That's how all the neural networks, everything in the earlier sessions we have gone through it. But from this, what we have to take up is any object or any, I have to say it's a concept, the word concept I have to introduce. Any concept, and we will be having the properties and the association between the concepts or relationship between the concepts. So this is the main thinking in an AI researcher or in the person who are working in the machine learning and computational intelligence. We have to think about how this knowledge could be represented, the first one, and in the processing, and in the knowledge representation, what are all the things I could represent. Simply, I'm representing and going, what is the use of it? That's the next question in our mind. Okay. So if it is there, then we are thinking about the applications of whatever the knowledge I have stored in a convenient data representation format. It has got a beautiful reasoning technique, and I have stored all the association between the concepts. Everything is available. When it is available like this, now, being an application person or from the application angle, we have to think about what are all the various applications. Right now, I think in the earlier sessions, so many people have talked about smart city, safe city, and all those things. So if you take about smart city, safe city projects, it has got its own scope, okay, and what are all the various problems or what are the various challenges it is available and how we can give that solution. From the application, one more application I would like to indicate right now is that translation to Indian languages, what our chairman or the ACT, he has pointed out. So we have, or we are in need of developing this application where the translation to Indian languages is, that's a one application. And another application we can think of, there are so many applications available. But generally what is required out of all this application is, by getting the I should get the details in one touch. That's my complete requirement. Okay, whatever may be the application. For example, you take our any search engines. Two persons are there. Both of them are giving the same keywords. Now I have to use all these words. I hope all of us, we are comfortable with that keywords I'm giving or search words. And whether the search engine gives the same output for both the person in the real world, if it gives it like this, nobody will like it. What is required in that particular scenario? When I give the same keyword, I expect it has to give me the information in whichever domain or in whichever area I am interested. And for the other person, that has to go in there. So what is missing here? How a system can work in such a fashion that for the same keyword, it has to give the output in whichever way I want, and for the other person in whichever that person wants. So what is missing here, or based on what we can get it? Based on the history, I can give some output, then some kind of the next level of intelligence, now it is coming in, because the system knows what I want. I'll say it outside, the system knows what I want, so it will give whatever I expect. If the answer is like that, yes, that's very good. But how it is being done? So one word already I have told, the history is being stored. Whatever is the history is being stored, then again that has to be in the suitable representation formats. Then only I can give the output in whichever way we expect. So everywhere, whenever I talk about it, the representation is coming into picture. So whenever using the history, I can do that. Actually, we are getting into the personalization. So this is an important term. Everyone as a researcher, we have to understand that personalization. Where and all we can bring in this personalization is an important concept. Whatever the problem in hand, if we bring in the personalization inside, depending on this, if I design my algorithm or if I design the input, then definitely that system, whatever machine learning system or AI system, whatever the system, that is going to give us a lot more personalized information, so that will be appreciated by everyone. Okay. For example, another application I indicated was the natural language processing, okay, the translation to Indian languages. So if you take a BERT, you might have heard about it. It's available where it helps us in providing all the basic components required to do that particular research. So in that case, as a researcher in an institution, in an educational institutions and in an organization, what we are supposed to provide, definitely we have to provide the development environment or the core requirement for the researchers to work in that. So that development of the core requirement is the base. Once if that platform is being given, the people who are working in this AI or in this machine learning, in the computational intelligence, whatever they think, they can come and they can experiment their model and they can give the output. So if you see this particular evolution or everything, in the AI, lot of like human inspired models, there are so many models, everything is available. But everyone, we are working from the existing, how best I can do. Yes, that is one requirement. Apart from that, we have to work with core artificial intelligence so that all the systems, the vision of 2047, definitely we can achieve. So any application, if I take now, the challenge is available. Why I am calling that as a challenge, not as a problem, not as a threat. If I say threat and problem, it will get into a different scope, but the challenges. So given any application, now we have to identify what is the challenge and we have to work on it. So nowadays, what is the challenge? The voluminous of the data. So whenever we talk about this machine learning and computational intelligence, the voluminous of data comes into picture. That's why that VLDB and data analytics, everything, okay, it's coming into picture. So what is required right now? Yes, I have the infrastructure available to store all my data, the voluminous of data. Then I have made the representation in a convenient way. Now the inferencing mechanism is also available. If that is the case, now how I can give a solution to the people? That is a way as a AI people or the researchers who are working in this area, we have to do it. Now, again, one more question is coming to our mind. Why we are doing all those things? What is the requirement for it? So each and everything we are proceeding, it brings us the level of comfort, maybe to each individual, or it may be to an organization, whatever may be. So being an educational organization, the timetable we are preparing okay, every semester we are doing, okay, there may be some assistance available to make it the timetable. Do we have any timetable preparation software available so far? Anyone we have come across with it? No. Why? Anyone, did we think about it? Because the requirement changes, okay? The requirement at each and every micro level, it changes. So if I want to bring a software which has to work universally for a timetable preparation, that it may not be possible. But what is possible? Yes, we are providing the infrastructure so that the people can customize for their requirement. So now all the developments are going in this way. So as an organization, like educational organization, where we are meeting thousands of people in computer science, we are meeting, or every year we are producing computer science graduates in that area, then we have to provide them the right exposure and provide them the infrastructure so that whatever a small problem they think of, okay, they have an idea. For example, a student is getting an idea. He wants to experiment or she wants to experiment. What is the provision we are giving? From the computer science angle, if you think, yes, we are providing the infrastructure, maybe we are providing the infrastructure or the algorithm, what are all the algorithm, existing algorithm. Okay, but as an organization, if we could provide the infrastructure, apart from the infrastructure facility, that may be in level 1 or level 2 or in so many levels, that's one point. We have to give the provision for creating the model, and after creating the model, the experimentation, or after doing the experimentation, for doing the evaluation, we have to give a platform. Once if the evaluation is being done, we can give or we can facilitate those people for productization. So once if it is available in an institute, in a higher learning institute, definitely that is going to kindle the minds of young people who are working in this area to work on it. So during this journey, just I have talked about only the representation. Just I would like to mention, when I go for the representation, we have to think about the logic. We have studied it, maybe you people have studied it in your subject artificial intelligence, but that logic is very much important, like proportional logic, predicate logic, description logic, all those logics we would have heard about it. Okay, so these are all the basics. So from the, as a researcher and purely from the educational side, I would like to convey that if this particular platform is provided by the educational institutions to the students to do their small idea to work on it, definitely that is going to bring a lot of innovative ideas in providing the solution to the existing problem and the problems what we may face in the later years. So in this scenario, I would like to inform you that I'm working in steganography, that is video, and that's image steganography and audio. So steganography, why I'm talking about particularly the steganography right now is because I'm working on this. Whatever the knowledge I got it, now I would like to share with you people. Steganography, what it is nothing but we are seizing the existence of the information itself. That's the definition. But what it is, for example, When we talk about cryptography, we know very well that, okay, some text or something is being changed to some other format. But when we go for steganography, we will see only if it is image steganography, it's only a photograph. If it is text steganography, it's only the text. But whatever I would like to convey, that will be embedded, okay, embedded inside where it is not, it could not be seen outside. So that's why there are two types of things available, okay, visible and invisible. This steganography will come into invisible, but visible, when I talk about visible and invisible, it will get into visible watermarking and invisible watermarking. That let us not get into it. And another one area I am working is the video analytics, the cloud storage. Whenever we are acquiring the data, that is the video data, if I'm going to completely store for 24/7, the amount of storage requirement for storing that the image or the video is enormous, that we can calculate. So what here we try to do in our work is, whatever it's in a sterile zone, for example, in a sterile zone where very little movement is there, then 24/7 storing is, it's not of that much use. So in those particular scenario, if I store only the active region, not the passive region, but it should be possible for us to recreate or bring back the original video. So in that angle, when we were working, we had to apply a lot of AI techniques, and even the machine learning we have to get into, but deep learning we did not try so far. So whatever the problem, or I should not say the problem, there is a challenge available to give a solution. So definitely we can think about it. And in this angle, right now, as a researcher, we can think about, because people are talking about edge computing, fog computing, and the storage in the cloud computing and everywhere. If you take only the edge computing, which are all the process I can do it at the edge level. For example, if it is the video processing, why don't the camera itself why don't it can have the processing, so that completely I'll not be sending it to the cloud? Yes, that's a one kind of thinking. People are working on it right nowadays. We are getting the camera with a lot of with computational power also. People, that the technology is going in this direction. But as an AI researcher and as an machine learning people, we have to think about, even a small solution kindles our mind. Yes, we have to build on it, and we have to think about from the representation, that is a knowledge representation, and to the inferencing, that's a representation, the logic also come into picture. And from that, what are all the reasoning methodologies or the inferencing methodologies we are using, so that we can give a better solution to the community, and we can get into the productization side, or we can give a model so that everyone can use it, experiment it, and they can give their solution. So in this angle, if we look into it, definitely when I see all the papers in this particular conference, they are kindling everyone's mind in that way. So in that way, I congratulate the whole team for doing it. And with this point, I would like to conclude my thinking, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. At this point, I would like to give one more information. Actually, I am associated with SRM College long back. In 1989, I was there for 6 months. In 1992, I was there for 6 to 7 months. So actually now when I associate with you people, definitely it gives me a beautiful memory. And thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. G. Aguilar, for your insights on various algorithms and applications of machine learning.
Hansani, madam, can I have a minute with you? So we had a session in the morning for taking photograph. Those who have missed, I think we can take one more opportunity. So I wish every one of you to switch on your video so that you are ready for taking a photo by showing thumbs up. Yeah. I request participants to switch on their videos. Thank you. Thank you. One more photo, please. One more minute, please. Just a minute. Just a minute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. We have some announcement from MCDES regarding the session schedule and track schedule. The session and track schedule is posted in the chat box. I request the participants to take care of that. And we are also sharing the session schedule here. If any participant is here, you can have any clarification. You can get in touch with us. Over to you, Hansani Madam and HOD sir.
Thank you, Hansani ma'am. I'll take the session from you.
Ma'am, unmute.
Unmute. Thank you, Hansani ma'am. I'll take the session from you.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Shamala. I'm passing over the
thank you,
MC for the next session to you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And I request Sudha ma'am to show the schedule track. She can post the track.
And I think we shared the Google Meet link in the chat box. Okay. Already we sent message through WhatsApp, the group, and now in the session, Google Meets are shared in the chat. Madam, go.
So for the participants, here is the detail of all the 3 tracks. They will
Scroll down.
They have started from 12:30 to 3 p.m. and there are 3 tracks that are parallelly being run. The first track will be, they will have 3 panel members. One, Associate Professor Dr. Omar bin Mosa, Dr. A. Kalaivani, and Dr. T. Vignesh. In the second track, in the first track there are 17 papers, and I think all the participants are present for ready for presenting the papers. In track 2, we have panel members Dr. Nick Zulkarnain Kidsir and Janathanan and Dr. R. Parthiban. So we have 3 panel members and around 16 papers to be presented. In the third track, we have Dr. Muhammad Faisal Abdullah, Dr. S. Mutturaj Kumar, and Dr. S. Jayachandran as the panel members. I request all the participants to use the Google Meet ID that has been posted on your WhatsApp. Already, if you have joined the sessions, those who have not joined can join the tracks. Please join the respective tracks. And if you have any doubts, you can post it on the WhatsApp chat.
I would like to add one more thing. The best paper award will be announced in the valedictory section. We will be sharing the link for valedictory section. For each track, the juries are going to announce the best papers. So the participants will have to stay back for the result of the best paper award as well as for the valedictory function. This is from MCDES message. Over to you, Shamla.
Thank you, sir. That's it. That's it for now. I request all the participants to please join the tracks. I think almost all have joined. So we can leave the Zoom links now.
I think we'll check with the HOD sir just a minute.
Yes. So that we'll be joining back in the Zoom link by 3:30 for the valedictory function. I'll also announce this in the tracks so that the participants who have gone there for their presentation will also know that they have to join back to the Zoom link itself after 3:30 for the valedictory function.
So from the organizers desk, once again, we extend our heartfelt thanks for the keynote speakers for sharing their ideas. We take immense pleasure in expressing our gratitude for keynote speakers. From IUKL and SRMIST, we jointly express our thanks for all the keynote speakers who have presented their ideas. So now we are coming to the end of the inaugural session, and the technical session is going on. We will again meet at 3:30 p.m. in the same Zoom link. We will be providing for the valedictory function. And thank you all from the organizing desk, and thank you IUKL for your fullest cooperation and support for conducting this event without any difficulty or delay or disturbance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnamurthy.
Yeah, together, yeah,
We'll
together
meet
we can.
again.
Yeah.
So we meet again, eh?
Yeah, we'll